Hey everyone, this is Ed. This is going to be the last video of this series. As usual, I'll point out all the things that I think should be done differently or better to be a winner at higher stakes, 5-10 and higher. And at the end of the video, we'll just recap all the major points that were discussed throughout the series. As always, we start with looking at table selection, and we seem to have two fish on the top left table. The half stacks, they're usually going to be fish, and there seems to be a pretty big fish on our right on the bottom left table. And on the right tables, I don't particularly know all of these players, so and from the stats it doesn't seem that there are any fish, but we'll see how it goes. On the bottom left table, it's a deep table, and the fish has a bigger stack than us. This should never be the case. We should always buy as deep as we can to cover the fish, since the fish is going to be the main source of our money. So let's get started. So in this hand we're dealt ace-jack suited in the small blind. And a regular looking player raises the button. This is a spot where you can both call and 3-bet ace-jack, and all it's going to depend on whether you're going to 3-bet or call is going to be recent history. If you have been 3-betting a lot and you think it's likely that it's going to play back, then 3-betting is good. But if you haven't been getting any cards and you haven't been 3-betting and you've been mostly just folding out of position, then calling is going to be much better. The other time where calling is going to be better if you've been check raising a lot, so in that case you can call and check raise some ace high or jack high boards. But it shouldn't be your default to always 3-bet. You should understand when it's worth 3-bet and when it's not. 6-8 off on the button against two regularish players is usually going to be a fold, but if you do decide that it's profitable to play and you want to open it, as we discussed before, the open raise size needs to be smaller versus reg, so from 2 to 2.5 times is much better than making it 3 or 3.5. In this next hand we have queen 7 off and we open it versus a 25 big blind stack. And he calls. When he calls, we can usually conclude that he's not a pro short stacker and is a fish, and so we just bet the flop to pick up the dead money. But versus the pro short stackers, those people usually just shove or fold pre, and oftentimes when they do call, it's they're just slow playing some huge monster. But you know, those things are relatively easy to figure out if you have stats on them.